Hi, welcome everybody. Just gonna wait 1 second for Christian to come here on as well. There he
Hi,
is.
Dominic.
Hello, Christian.
I hope everyone can hear me.
I can hear you, so I will assume that everybody else can hear you as well.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, guys, welcome to our cross-chain bridge AMA. Glad that you guys can make it. Maybe we'll start with me introducing myself. I'm Dominic. I do the business development management for Tixl. I've now been with the company for close to 3 months, and I mostly handle new partnerships for the bridge, partnerships in general. And I also work with Christian on products and new product ideas, mostly at the moment. You guys all know Christian, but maybe he can say a few words again for those who haven't met him yet.
Yeah, hi guys. Glad to be here today with you in the AMA. I'm Christian. I'm one of the co-founder of Tixl. I'm a software developer myself, and at the moment I'm one of the guys working on the new bridge version 2. And today we want to use the time to give you an insight what we are working on, to give you some more details about it, and when you can expect the next major version of the bridge. We announced it already a few weeks ago that we are working on something on a major release, and that it's more than just a little bit fine-tuning or UI optimization, but instead it's a completely new bridge version. The contracts are built completely new from the ground up. So I think it's pretty exciting what we can expect. And yeah, we want to go in detail today that you get an insight on what we are working on and why it takes some time, so why it's so special.
Yeah, so for the agenda for today, we'll update you a little bit first on the more technical details or why we are making a V2, and then we go a little bit into the finer details on how the V2 version of the bridge is gonna work. And then after that, we'll do an open question round where you guys can ask us your questions about the bridge design. Christian, maybe you could start with telling everybody a little bit about our journey building a bridge in general, and how that came to become more of like a core product in the Tixl universe.
In the beginning of the year, we started building our own bridge between Ethereum and Binance Smart Chain because we wanted to move on PancakeSwap because the Ethereum fees, gas fees, were so high that people were asking for cheaper alternatives. So we decided to move to another DEX with much lower gas fees. And so we started working on this, building it on smart contract base, so it's in a decentralized way. And then other projects asked us if they can use the bridge as well, because they haven't been interested to build it by their own. And so we decided that we will open it for other projects as well. And in this process, we did some learnings. So some parts have been pretty cool, implemented by our team, but some can be optimized. And this is why we decided we want to start with a second version of the bridge to implement all the lessons learned from the first version and to focus on to add more networks. So for example, it's from the beginning in mind that we want to launch on almost every EVM network in the end, and the first version wasn't designed that it can connect to each network or that we can implement it very fast, and now it's kind of the same contracts on every side and very easy to scale it up for our team. Then there have been some lessons learned or drawbacks we have identified. For example, that this in the version 1 there are two kinds of fees. One is the base fee to cover the gas cost on the other network side, and the relative fee to have some kind of incentive for a bridge hoster. And it's kind of difficult because we have to monitor the accounts. If there are not enough funds left, then we have to take care that the fee in the token is worth the same when we sell it against ETH, for example, because otherwise in the meantime the price can drop, and then we have this risk of this currency risk, and the new version will cut it out completely, so it's completely independent from such outside effects. And for example, there have been some cases that a bridge transfer was stuck in the past in the version 1, and this affected all other transactions that happened later on. So, and this is something where we were working on also, so we can do asynchronous bridging, so someone can start a new bridging and release their own tokens even before another person was doing it for his own transaction. So, for example, if there are not enough coins from coin A, then you can also proceed with your coin B, transferring it through a bridge, and it doesn't affect you in any way. Yeah, and we're really proud that we can announce that last night we were able to do the first completely bridge transfer in the second version on the Rinkeby and Binance Smart Chain testnet network. So we are getting closer to a release date. We are in very warm contact with the audit company that we can hand over the code, and it's just that we do the last fine-tuning before we can do a code freeze on the smart contract side. In parallel, we started to update the front end just a little bit. So in general, you can expect something that looks quite similar for the bridging UI, but yeah, some things like the method names have changed, or there are some more UI interactions needed for some other cases, what we have to implement. But in general, yeah, we're on a good track, and I think we can expect to launch the new version within the next 4 to 6 weeks. Yes. So in the first version, it was kind of a whitelisting process. So we as a Tixl company had to add a token. The project was forced to give us mint permissions on, or give the bridge contract the mint permission. And this is something that is, I would say, it's not perfect for a decentralized world. Instead, we discussed a lot internally how we can improve the whole process, and we came up with that we have liquidity pools on each side. So the community can provide liquidity itself. And in case the token address of the token you want to bridge is the same on both networks, there's also a permissionless self-listing process. So a project can list it immediately, similar to you can list your token on Uniswap or any other DEX. And I think this is really important in this whole decentralization aspect, that people or projects can add tokens themselves, can provide liquidity, and we have some ideas in mind to also enable self-listing for tokens that do not have the same contract address on both or on all networks, but this is something for future to improve if we see that this is really relevant. So in the beginning, there's a owner wallet that is allowed, or a role that gives a permission to add this token mappings for tokens that are kind of the same but have a different token address.
Exactly. So the self-listing is especially interesting for new projects, because new projects still have the ability, if they launch on new networks, to get the same token address. So we have a lot of smaller projects coming up to us who want to do bridge listings, and with this version we can basically allow for them to just list themselves on our bridge without us having to interfere much with that anymore, in a more permissionless and without interference way. Christian, maybe next we can, or you can talk a little bit about how the process is going to look like for the bigger tokens, which will be able to be bridged with this version as well.
Yeah, for example, you want to talk about stablecoins like USDT, USDC, and so on.
Yeah.
For these tokens, it's unlikely that the projects will add the token themselves and provide a lot of liquidity. So instead, we will create these liquidity pools on each side, and we created a farm mechanism that the community can provide a stablecoin and gets an LP token. It's similar to you're used to it from any other DEX. And this LP token you can use to farm a bridge token. It's an intermediary token that you can use to earn the bridging fees that is collected by the bridge. So the bridging fees is, or a major part of the bridging fees were distributed in reward pools, and to access these reward pools you need this bridge intermediary token. And we think this is a very fair solution for the whole community. And of course, the Tixl token has a special role, so it will have a pretty good multiplier compared to other farms.
Exactly. And maybe I can explain here a little bit also the Tixl staking that has been talked so much about, or requested so much about, for the bridge release. So this is basically how we will allow a staking mechanism by providing one of these liquidity pools for the Tixl token, which gives the Tixl token the ability to earn these bridge tokens, and with set bridge tokens, by putting them into a pool, you will be able to earn fees that are generated by the bridge. Now, the cool thing here is that you could, if you want to, you could put the Tixl token in and earn the bridge token, and then again use that bridge token to get more Tixl tokens. But you could also, for example, earn another token with the bridge token that we have that generates fees, or the other way around. You could provide a stablecoin, for example, and earn tokens this way, and use those tokens to earn the Tixl token. So we have a very flexible mechanism where everybody can kind of have like a earn what you want, or supply what you want kind of way. And we think that's one of the coolest features of the new bridge design. Christian, maybe you can speak a little bit more about also like why we needed a new token for that and couldn't just use the Tixl token for this.
Yeah, but first of all, I want to add one more aspect to this pools, because compared to the DEX pools, liquidity pools, and providing liquidity on the DEX, we have single token pools on the bridge. So you can earn this bridge token and use it to participate in the bridging fees, but you do not have this impermanent loss risk you have using providing liquidity on a DEX, because you have no pool of tokens, but instead you have just one token you provide to a bridge, and if you want to, you can just put it out later on, and there's not this pricing mechanism against each other.
Exactly. I mean, that's definitely one of the most important features as well. Yeah, but maybe just so people understand, we can quickly get back to why we decided to have another token for this, and not just use the Tixl token, and why that's important. Maybe you can say a few words about this as well, so everybody understands that.
Yeah, we discussed a lot about it because it's obviously a very important aspect, and we decided to have this extra bridge token that is used to earn the fees and so on, because it's kind of protection for the Tixl token itself. So the Tixl token is kind of relevant in the bridge, but this bridge token or the bridge incentive mechanism with farms is in a very inflationary way of token generation. So it's minted with every block. And this is something we want to protect the Tixl token from, to be on a safe side for all the investors, that the Tixl investors can use the Tixl token to earn these bridge tokens and to earn on the bridging fees. But we want to protect them from having this impact of printing Tixl token on every block and have an inflationary that is more than at the moment.
Yeah, and we will launch this bridge token basically in a fair launch way. So it's going to be really up to the people that provide liquidity for us and use the bridge. So we see this as a very fair way for the community to participate in this.
There's no pre-minting, there's no pre-sale for any influence or something like this. So it's a true fair launch, and I think this is one of the best ways we can go with a new product from this Tixl ecosystem.
Exactly, and then I think we already teasered that in the Medium article. We will have a certain, like most of the fees will actually go to the reward pools. So we will have almost all the fees go in there. A tiny amount of the fees we will collect, and we will use those fees for a Tixl buyback and burn mechanism. So we also have a positive effect through the bridge on the Tixl token. I think that's the mechanism we came up with, and the one that made most sense for like the growth of our ecosystem, and also for like the participation and benefit of the Tixl holders.
Yeah, I think then we can move over to some community questions. So thank you for listening, first of all, and if you have some questions, please write them into the Tech Talk channel, and we will have a look at it right now and can go through it.
Yeah, or you could also, if you don't have many there, we could also do some in the channel here by getting somebody on the stage as well.
All right, yeah. Yeah, there's Tixl Buster. He's asking, how will the staking happen? Will we be able to provide just one side of a pair? Yeah, this is exactly what we are talking about. You can just provide the Tixl token or just provide USDT or a similar token, and if there's a farm for this token, you can earn on it.
Okay, let me see
Is
what
there
else
any
here.
idea what the return APY for staking will be? That's
a hard question.
Yeah, it's a hard question. It's, I would say, unprofessional to give any expectation APY-wise. It completely depends on how many people will use this Tixl staking option, how many people will provide from other tokens. So it's completely market dependent. So
yeah, but basically the basic answer is also for any rewards in general on the bridge is that the better the bridge is used, the better the APYs will also be.
Yes. Are there any plans to integrate Pulsechain ETH fork once it's launched? It's not on our short-term roadmap, I would say, but we will take a look at the market all the time, and once we have the feeling that it makes sense to add Pulsechain next, then we will do it. But I think everyone can imagine that we will focus on the more common networks in the beginning, just to provide as much bridging volume as possible, because this affects the whole reward pools in the best way.
Yeah, Kato asked if we can add a Onepager or schematic for the bridge setup. We definitely do that in the future. We've already started working on it. We don't have a nice design yet, but as soon as we have a nice design of that, we'll definitely add some kind of a visualization for sure.
Yeah, and at the moment, or in parallel to the development, we prepare a Giftbook, so I think there everything will be explained very well. So then there was a question already before this AMA. It's about adding new tokens, and the wallet takes some time and so on, and if we can add other networks. So for the connection of the outbound network with other tokens, the cross-chain bridge will be the major entry barrier. So all networks that are connected with a cross-chain bridge are also connected with the outbound network in a later version.
Yeah, we have another question here. Any prediction on how much Tixl will be burned because of the bridging in the future? I mean, it
fully depends on the usage of the bridge.
So basically every bridging, there's a small amount of fee that goes towards that, but I mean, any estimation we could give you right now would just be pure speculation. As long as we haven't connected the bridge and see how well it works, it's hard to imagine. You could look into some other bridges and what they're doing in volume, and you could try to like kind of piece a number from that, but it's gonna be up to see. It also depends on how many networks we connect, how fast, because the more networks, obviously, we will assume the more bridgings there will be.
Yeah, there's a question about the current TVL cross-chain bridge version 1. It's about $27 million worth of different tokens, obviously. So it's kind of okay as a base layer, and to really start with the next version and to really grow the TVA hopefully every week, so that we can move forward and create some buzz in the market.
And I think also here another important thing to add is, as we've maybe also seen yesterday, is that just like brute forcing huge volumes onto a bridge is not necessarily a sustainable strategy. So that's why we're also going for like a slow and steady increase, so we can make sure that our bridge is the securest it possibly can be. I think this is very important as well.
There's one more question about how much of a bridge value will be used to buy ticks on the market, and how will those be distributed to farmers? It's not finally, or the numbers are not final, but in general it's about a 9-to-1 ratio. So 10% of the fees will be used for Tixl, buyback and burn, and 90% should be distributed to farmers. But it can change in a little bit in the future. But to give you a rough idea about how it's structured. So I think if there are no more questions at the moment, we can stop for now. You can still write some questions if you have any after this AMA in the Tech Talk channel, online within the next hour. So I will take a look at it later today and will answer them in this Tech Talk channel if there are any more questions. So thank you for listening, guys, and bye-bye.
Yeah, and also give us some feedback on how you like this new format in Discord, maybe, and if we should do more in the future. Thanks, guys.